Randy's death is probably one of the more controversial decisions that has been made throughout the franchise. Many fans still haven't gotten over his demise in Scream 2. And while I used to be on the side of hating his death and feeling like his death could have easily been changed and kept him for the sequels, that's not the case anymore. Over the years, I've come to realize that Randy's death may be one of the more important deaths in the franchise. His fate, while definitely not deserved, definitely necessary. Randy is a fan-favorite character, and back then, having a fan-favorite survivor get killed halfway through the movie was crazy. It actually made people realize that everyone wasn't safe. This was continued in 3 with Cotton. Randy dying actually showed the maturity of the writing, the importance and weight of someone's death, unlike the new movies where Chad can get stabbed so many times and live. Dewey's death was more just a shock to audience than proved anything to the audience, besides radio silence trying to prove their cool edginess by killing a legacy character. Randy helped in Sydney's character development. She got more serious and lonely. Besides Dewey, Randy was her last friend from the original. It actually affected her. She felt responsible for his death. And besides Derek's death and Mickey's manipulation, Randy dying probably helped drive her into isolation. Randy's character also, as much as we all loved him, wasn't as needed after Scream 2. He served his purpose. He was the film geek, who was meant to know everything. Having him die showed that Sidney and others would need to adapt without his knowledge. Plus, even though it was just a screw-up by either Williamson or Kennedy, Randy's line,
Aliens is a classic, okay? Get away from her, you bitch.
I believe the line is stay away from her, you bitch. It's film class, right?
it proved that even the movie geek could screw up, and that's what ultimately led to his demise. The film geek archetype isn't something that Scream needs. Scream 3 didn't have one. We had a cheesy Randy tape, but that actually served a purpose. It was actually a dark part of the movie. Him acknowledging he'd probably die. It served its purpose and actually set up the killer. Hell, the whole rules gimmick was just drunk geekdom in the first Scream. And Randy didn't get to finish his rules and only gave them to Dewey, who didn't really want to know, in 3. It was a cheesy tape, meant to just be more stuff that didn't help that much, just more Randy screen time. The geek stereotype was still utilized well in Scream 4 because it actually had major bearing on the plot and where the story went. But in Scream 5 and 6, the geek stereotype is just, well, stereotype. No real point. Dewey knew rules which didn't make sense, and Mindy was just a non-character. Literally just the geek stereotype. No character beyond that. And her, along with almost every other character in the new trilogy, had no reaction to death. Wes' death just led to a party. No reaction besides some teens going for Wes before taking shots. No actual emotion. Nobody, but funnily enough, Amber, showed real care for Tara. No deaths in the movie had much impact on the characters or had much relevance to the plot in 6 besides Richie. Hell, Randy's death is major point in Scream 5 and 6. Without his death, that means no Martha Meeks, which means no Chad and Mindy, who have many fans. Overall, Randy's death was very important to the franchise overall, and even if you still think he should have kept going, the franchise would get more flack for main characters not dying, which the original 3 already were criticized for, and an entire reason 5 and 6 and radio silence are getting flack. Hope you liked this video.